And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, Darren back with you here at Cross Timbers Farm. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles. Glad to have you with us today. Beautiful spring day here on the farm, and I say spring very lightly. We are still about a week away from the spring equinox. It is the first full week of March, and what a beautiful day. We have been in the 50s and 60s temperature wise for about a week now, week and a half, and we have had abundant rain. Yesterday and the night before, it rained a steady rain with a couple of downpours about all day yesterday, and it's been that way all winter. We have had a very wet winter here in western North Carolina, which is really good for our hay growth and the water table for this coming summer. Hopefully this rain pattern, maybe when we get into cutting hay it won't be this bad, but hopefully we continue to get rain all summer. Been out inspecting our test plot, and I could not be happier. The 2024 hay season is looking fantastic. As you can see behind me, things are starting to green up. And what causes the green up for your hay field is obviously the health of your soil, the nutritional content of your soil, and those nutrients and micronutrients, and the life in your soil. The main players in that is the photoperiod and temperature. The temperature of that soil when it reaches a certain level, plus the length of days, starts that grass coming out of its dormant stage to growing. And it also, our frost seeding will start germination of that seed to start growing. I've been out into the test plot looking around. I'm really happy. I pulled a piece of orchard grass, and I want you to see this. Look at that. Can you see how I pulled it right at the base? And there's a little bit, you can see the dormant grass, the old, but look at the new growth. Quite pleased with the growth stage of our cool season grasses this early in the year. I have never saw on our farm this early in March for our forages to start greening up and getting this vibrant this early. And I'm gonna attribute that to our sweat equity we've put into our hay. pH level on our farm is paramount. I can't say that would be the same anywhere else. As I alluded to in our soil test video, once we get our pH level here on this farm up to the proper level, all the other nutrients that are on the chart like this in our soil test kind of start leveling out. Soil pH does so much for our soil here that's our main priority as far as soil test is a soil pH. And lime is how you adjust that. There goes a military airplane. Boy, that thing is scooting. Wow. I don't know how many miles per hour that thing's going. Let's look up into the sun and see it. Wow. Okay. That's some G-forces inside that thing, I'm sure. Where was I? Lime is not a quick fix. Lime, we use pelletized lime, and even pulverized lime in just a dust form still takes a little while to get into the soil. Pelletized lime a little longer. So if you want to see results in spring, you needed to have limed back midwinter, and that's what we did. We limed in January. Our soil sample told us that our pH level was at a 5.5, and we limed appropriately. We will recheck our pH level again about maybe late April, 1st of May. But our quick regrowth this year has, I think there's several contributing factors. Plentiful rainfall, our temperatures warming up nicely, and getting our pH level up to equalize out all of our other nutrients in our soil. Very, very pleased with our results here. To be this early in the year, if this pattern continues, I'm really excited about our 2024 hay season. This could be our best year ever, and we hope to only continue with that. This is our test plot. What we learn here, we take it to the other areas, and I will show you what our frost seeding has done. We can't see results in this right yet. The germination will be so short. The established forages are probably crowding that out right now, shading it out to where you can't really see it. If I got in there and pushed around, I might could. But we do have a bare dirt area where we fixed the hump in our back field, and we'll walk back there and let me show you how the frost seeding has done there. It's still early to see the results of that frost seeding, but already I can see little bitty 1/4 inch blades of Timothy and Orchard coming up in that bare dirt, telling me that it germinated, the frost seeding done its work. So we'll take a look at that, and I'm really pleased with our reclaimed hayfield. That reclaimed hayfield is a work in progress, and the sweat equity we've put into that reclaimed hayfield is already starting to show results. So it's hard to describe how much this test plot has benefited us. Not only the high quality premium hay we get off of it that we bale and sell, but what it has learned us. This is our school. This is where we learn what works for our farm and what doesn't. We take what we see great benefits from here and we apply it in our main hay fields. The test plot's looking fantastic. Best it's ever looked this early in the year. The clover's really coming up. As you can see, it's just, this test plot's loaded with red clover and white clover. Most of this is red clover, and it's just coming up everywhere in it. Okay, like right here, let's just rake around. Okay, see it there? Right in there. It's looking really good. Here's the bare dirt area where we fixed the hump in our hay field back last winter with 12 tons of dirt. It was not topsoil, but we amended it with a lot of lime and fertilizer, and we frost seeded it, and so far what I'm seeing, it has germinated and it's working. The grass coming up is micro right now in height. It's only maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch tall, but the Timothy and Orchard is sure coming up. Let's take a look at it. Okay folks, I'm not so sure that the camera's gonna show this up, but I'm hoping you can see these tiny blades of Orchard and Timothy sprouting. They germinated, and if you get to looking, they're everywhere. So it's very small. I might should wait a couple of weeks to show you this, but with the naked eye, it's very obvious that it did germinate and it is coming up. And the main hay fields are starting to green up. They're a week, usually a couple of weeks behind the test plot due to these fields being northwest exposure. But they're starting to. You can see some green patches already starting to come up. Okay, now we're in our reclaimed hay field, and I did not expect our reclaimed hay field to look quite this good. It's looking really good, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I pulled a piece of orchard grass. You can see the old growth right there where we cut it last fall. Look at the new growth. It's come out of there. It's still kind of twisted right here. New orchard grass growth. This reclaimed hay field has too much Kentucky bluegrass in it. And because of that, we really put a lot of seed on, overseeding, frost seeding on this pasture this winter. We are really hoping to crowd out some of this Kentucky bluegrass with orchard and timothy and red clover. We still have a weed load back here, but nothing like we had last year and the year before. Our constant battle with the weeds back here, we're starting to win that battle. Last summer, I would have not anticipated this reclaimed field being quite this good this spring. It's looking great. We really put a lot of lime on this field, more than we did our main hay field. And the reason for that was because of the weed load and the pH. More so for the weed load and to help combat the weeds back here. We won't see any of those results of the weed control with the lime until summer. Late spring, early summer, and then through the summer into fall, we'll see what the raising that pH level has done for our weeds. Right now, you can't really tell. But I do know that bringing our pH level up, liming this field and all the weed control we've done, is starting to produce some results already. This reclaimed hay field, where we cut hay off of it last year late and got that excess organic material off of it, has paid dividends. This reclaimed field's already greening up faster than most anything we have. It's looking the best of all of our hay fields as far as how quick it's greening up. So we'll see if that growth rate continues into the summer. But hopefully our orchard and timothy mix and red clover will start overpowering some of this Kentucky bluegrass. Kentucky bluegrass is not bad hay. It's pretty good hay. It's just the yield of it grows pretty short. It's not a tall growing grass like orchard or tall fescue or timothy. It's a lot shorter, and thus your yield is a lot less. Quality is number one, not quantity. But in the same sentence, you don't want to grow some hay, a hay variety that routinely produces less and less yield than another variety that is maybe even better nutritional value and produces more. So we want to crowd out some of this Kentucky bluegrass back here. We're okay with some of it, but we got too much back here. We're hoping the frost seeding does the job. We still do have some weeds back here, and we'll work on that through the summer. Battling weeds is a year-long endeavor. We're hoping once again to have a premium hay crop, horse quality hay if there is such a thing. And we're also hoping that our yield goes up because Our customer base is demanding more hay, and we're doing everything we can to produce what we can off our property. So hence this reclaimed field. 2024 hay season is just around the corner. It's time now to service your tractor, get the oil fluids changed, get your baler greased up, your tedder, hay rake, everything greased and oiled, and make sure it's in all good, proper working order, because last thing you want to do is get ready to go start cutting hay and realize you need to change oil in your tractor or something and put you in a rush. Do it now. Hay season's coming on really, really quick. It'll be mid-May before you know it, and we'll be ready to cut hay. We're looking really forward to a successful 2024 season. In about 3 to 4 weeks, we'll fertilize. We'll go through the fields with our Cosmo spreader and our Honda Foreman and get everything fertilized in anticipation of cutting and baling hay in May, late May. So, you know, it's just, if this kind of weather continues and we continue to get rain, man, I'm really looking forward to what this hay season is going to bring. We have had abundant rain. I took my boat to the lake a couple days ago and pulled up at the boat ramp, and goodness gracious, the lake looked like somebody filled it up with chocolate milk. In the mountains you have runoff. Water don't just stand, it runs off, and it runs into the creeks and rivers and then into the lake or lakes, and creates a lot of sediment and mud in the rivers. But that's the nature of living in the mountains. We don't have really much what we call localized flooding up in the mountains. Now we do along the creeks, but up in the mountains we don't, because it all runs off. We have what we call gully washers. That rain will rain so hard where it washes down a ravine, it'll wash a gully. So downpours and heavy rain, we call it a gully washer. So we've had some gully washers lately. And boy, I tell you what, this beautiful weather for the first week of March is unreal. This is the day that the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Goodness, it's a beautiful day. Thank you for being with us here this morning on the farm. Almost midday, and we're getting ready to head back to the farmhouse and get us some lunch. I think I'm gonna go get me some eggs out of the chicken coop to take and scramble me some eggs for lunch. We pray that God blesses you and your family, and I pray that you have a fantastic day. Let's get us a few eggs for lunch. What do you say? Oh yeah, look here. Beautiful eggs. Wow. How many do I want for lunch? I think I'll eat 3.